Coming up on AEA Amplified, startup company Aviation Design and Supply is on a mission to help avionics repair stations.
From the Aircraft Electronics Association, this is AEA Amplified, a podcast for aviation's technology experts, with your host, Jeff Hill.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to yet another episode of AEA Amplified. As always, sponsored by Genesis Aerosystems, a Moog company, providing full flight deck upgrade solutions of customizable EFIS smart displays, UHF and VHF airborne radios, and autopilots, plus much more for retrofit and OEM factory fit aircraft. To learn more about the upgrade solutions, visit genesis-aerosystems.com. Hi again, everybody. I am your host, Jeff Hill, for this July 20th, 2023 edition of AEA Amplified. And today we have a really cool story to share with the avionics universe and our listeners out there as we spotlight a company that's been around for just a few weeks and it's already doing some amazing work. And I'm pleased to be joined by Jeremy Ham from Melbourne, Florida. And he is the president of Aviation Design and Supply, certainly no stranger to AEA members out there. And most of our listeners are very familiar with Jeremy and have personally met you at our AEA conventions and various other events. But tell us about your next venture, or your new venture, I guess. Who and what is Aviation Design and Supply?
All right. Well, Jeff, thanks for having me back on. Aviation Design and Supply is the culmination of some really smart folks in aviation. We've created a new company that specializes in helping small to medium shops become more efficient, which in turn makes them more profitable. We have three primary verticals that each offer repair stations the ability to eliminate unbilled labor hours, and our goal is to significantly minimize customer downtime and optimize productivity.
Well, it sounds like you guys are off to a very fast start here in just a very short amount of time. But I know one of your most important services is autopilot hardware and install kits, and that includes the Garmin GFC 500 and 600 autopilot kits. What can you tell us about those kits?
Our autopilot kits will significantly save shops time while preparing for those GFC 500 and 600 installations. I have heard horror stories of technicians spending 2 or 3 or 4 hours searching for all the hardware listed in the best source section of the installation manual, just to find out they were, for example, short one spacer. Then they got to go online, find that source, buy 50 of them, and in some cases, they'll never use that spacer again. That's a very inefficient use of your time and your employees' time. And we all know that missing a nut or bolt can be an expensive showstopper. If you're a small shop like Ken Sims of Apex Avionics, or Jeremy Michaels of Aerovets, or Richard Ottomont of Autos Aviation, or Nicole Jeffords at Kavu Aircraft Maintenance and Avionics, our autopilot kits are invaluable. Not only will these kits save them time, but they can also pass the cost on to the end user with their typical margin for markup and actually make some additional money while saving that time. Even larger shops with dedicated parts departments can stock a single kit on the shelf and charge it out to the work order. This increases efficiency of inventory specialists, and it reduces the possibility of errors in the preparation phase. For the GFC 500, we currently offer 41 kits that cover over 80 airframes, and the price ranges from $150 to $300 a piece. Each kit is meticulously labeled with the autopilot model number, the drawing number, and what assembly the hardware is needed for. We've even included sub-kits for all the part numbers listed as a -X. We solved this by doing our homework. We've talked to several shops out there, and we found out what they used for that part number and that airframe, and just kind of put together an average, if you will, of what that part number is going to be. Now, thanks to our friends at Garmin, we are also the sole source for the same best source kits for the GFC 600 autopilot. Right now, we're going through the list, but when we're done, we'll have 20 different kits that cover almost all 30 aircraft listed in the GFC 600 AML.
And Jeremy, I know your company also offers ADS Prints engineering packages. What can you share about that service that you have available?
For now, we're going to be offering the GFC 500 and 600 autopilot drawings, as well as an Avidyne drawing package. One of our founding members, Brian Yablon, he owns Airsense Avionics. He's also Avidyne dealer as well, and has an extensive library of plans. Our drawing packages will contain point-to-point wiring for all the equipment being installed, as well as any new interfaces to previously installed equipment. We provide all the configuration settings for all the interfaced equipment, along with some recommended 337 verbiage. All of our prints can decrease the time to complete a job anywhere between 8 to 12 hours, and that time is usually not billed. It's never passed on to the customer. The shops just eat that time. Now, we've seen an uptick in recent years of shops not doing installation prints. We understand that there are a lot of smaller shops out there, and especially with technician shortages in our industry, and many shops just don't have the bandwidth to do these services in-house. For these shops, we believe the ADS drawing packages provide the greatest benefit. You don't need to spend your limited resources doing installation engineering. Let ADS's engineering do the heavy lifting for you and free up your time so that you can do things that actually make you more money. Now, why do the prints matter? It's a matter of the installation engineering that we think about traditional drafting and drawing. Gone are the days when a navigator is connected to an analog indicator and nothing else. There was a time when an avionics installation consisted of a KX155 driving a simple HSI. Back then, perhaps the 337 verbiage was vague enough in the installation manual, and you can get away with an in accordance with statement. Fast forward to today, there are no two installations that are exactly the same, and often we have equipment from multiple manufacturers all trying to talk to each other at the same time. If you look at the capability list of a Garmin GTN or an Avidyne IFD or a G500 or an Aspen Pro Max, etc., you're going to immediately see that manufacturers are going further and further and pushing avionics aftermarket installations into a more integrated package, which involves a much deeper complexity. The result is the manufacturer installation manuals are getting larger, and the information contained is getting more spread out. A single drawing for a navigator to an audio panel, they can contain up to 9 or more audio panels with nuanced wiring variations for each one, and all on a single figure, so that the 337 listing could be navigator connected to audio panel, IAW installation manual, part number X, page X, figure X, still leaves us with 9 possible configurations on how we're putting this together. And that's just the electrical interface. Now, consider that for nearly every wire that is run in installation, there's a configuration setting to worry about as well too. You have to find out and browse through completely different sections of manufacturer manuals and sometimes multiple places and hope that you don't miss anything. The more integrated these systems become, the more you find yourself bouncing between manuals and from multiple different manufacturers. A typical navigator installation manual can have hundreds of possible configuration settings listed, to the point where your typical in accordance with the installation manual starts to mean less and less. Having a solid set of installation prints is invaluable in helping to troubleshoot something that isn't working correctly, diagnosing a mixed configuration setting, or spotting a miswire, etc. We're all aware of the current shortage of seasoned techs, so it's harder just to hand a junior tech 3 different manuals from 3 different manufacturers and say, go ring the wiring. We're likely to send that junior tech up for failure, or at minimum, a 3-day goose chase for a bad crimp on a ring terminal. If I had a complete set of drawings specific to my installation, for example, listing only the wiring that was actually installed and listing the correct configuration setting for each configurable port, it makes it a much easier task for that junior technician to go ring the wiring. They don't have to spend all afternoon digging through 400-page installation manuals to hopefully find the correct drawing. We think that it's a far better approach to have a single print that brings all of the pertinent information for everything in the system, regardless of the manufacturer. And then we eliminate that need to dig through hundreds of pages just to find out what you need. And it also becomes a selling point to the end user. When a plane breaks, it seldom breaks on the same airfield that the installation was performed. In some cases, the pilot owner would be very glad they had their installations done at a shop that included a complete set of prints with the install. I don't know many pilots who have ever been happy to pay shop B an hourly rate just to figure out how shop A installed their equipment. Now, if you're a shop who already does installation prints, hats off to you. We think you're awesome. But we would like you to check us out anyways. We want to allow you to spend less time at your desk and more time focusing on a quality installation and making more money.
That's great information for the repair stations out there. And let's all talk a little bit about your work order management software. I know that will also be of interest to repair stations out there. So tell us a little bit about AMI MX.
Well, Jeff, what can I say about AMI? It's quickly becoming the premier work order management system on the market. The only difference between now and last year is that we're no longer giving AMI away for free. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Many of our current users were very happy to start paying for the software because they know that paying a subscription helps with the longevity of AMI. For those of you who still aren't familiar with AMI, the software will track all your quotes, work orders, and invoicing. It also handles all your inventory requirements from purchasing to receiving to serial parts tracking. Some of its core features is the ability to automatically fill out maintenance records for logbooks, as well as quickly calculate weight and balance forms, which, any shop that has a few number of technicians knows that that's time you don't want to spend on a desk. You want to just maximize that as fast as possible. It also has a schedule maintenance tracking feature. So if you're a shop that performs both maintenance and avionics installation, you can track all the events for your customers' tail numbers and notify both you and the customer when, let's say, an annual is coming due or a VFR, IFR cert is coming due. We have added some new features since AEA. One of those is a 2-point authentication system and an attendance time clock. The PIN system allows users to set a unique PIN number up, which then allows them to electronically sign documents, change tax statuses, etc. The attendance time clock allows technicians the ability to not only clock job time, but regular 9 to 5 hours at the same time. Now I know they're not working 9 to 5, but it was still a great movie and a great song. Currently, we're beta testing for an MRO piece of the software, and that allows folks who works on components to track cores, create teardown reports, issue 8130s. And for those folks who are doing both airframe and component work, we have what we call MX Pro, which is a combination of both softwares. Every piece of the software is designed to reduce desk time. Are there areas where we can improve the software? Absolutely. As one of my mentors once told me, you're never done programming software. There's always going to be something else that needs to be done. Right now, the current subscription rate is about $125 per month, but we do offer a 50% discount for signing up for the year.
Very cool. And once again, we are visiting with Jeremy Ham. He is the president of Aviation Design and Supply out of Melbourne, Florida, here on AEA Amplified, sponsored by Genesis Aerosystems, a mode company. And Jeremy, I know ADS has already established itself as an Avidyne authorized dealer. How important is that Avidyne dealership to your business?
The Avidyne dealership is huge for ADS. One of our primary goals is to help up-and-coming repair stations kind of get on their feet. So between the software, the hardware kits, the prints, and now having the ability to secure equipment, we have almost everything a new shop needs to get going all in one place. Our partners love the experience with installing Avidyne equipment, and that allows us to become a source of assistance to our customers. We can sell directly to the customer, but we can also set up and supply non-Avidyne dealer shops as well with whatever they need, from sales, installation, to even RMA support. I'm hoping eventually soon that we're going to be adding test equipment and pitot-static testers or adapters to that list as well. I'd love to see ADS become, the one-stop shop for any new repair station or existing repair station to quickly get everything they need in one spot.
And Jeremy, as a quick startup company here, I also understand that you've already initiated a fun promotion for all the repair stations out there, and that's you're calling it the ADS Top Gun Award. How does an installer go about winning the ADS Top Gun Award, and what exactly comes with it? How does it work?
Okay, well, we want to showcase the best of the best from the AEA. The ADS Top Gun contest allows the shops to show off their skills as an avionics installer. Each month, we have nominees select, or what they do is they send in photos of their avionics installation. They send in pictures. It shows the pictures of the wiring, the plumbing, the audio panel, the aircraft. We then base the nominations off of that. Each nominee that we pick, they're going to receive a free ADS autopilot kit, as well as their installation featured on the ADS homepage. And then we also share that nominee story across all of our social media platforms. For the Top Gun winner itself, that's going to be based on a vote conducted by their peers within the AEA community itself. We'll present them at the AE National Convention. We give them an ADS replica 1985 Top Gun trophy with their name, shop name with it. But they'll also receive a set of free prints and another free ADS autopilot kit. Now, not only does the winner get all that, but they get the most important prize of all, bragging rights. They can actually say, we are the best of the best. Now, not only are they going to get all this great stuff, but one of my goals with this contest is to help the winners and the nominees with press releases and articles and any other material they can use to market their shop, to help build a better brand, to help bring in a better, higher clientele, if you will. So it's fun. We've already had a couple of submissions that we're running through right now, and then they're going to be posted up in our lobby with all the other winners.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. And sounds like a lot of fun, really cool, engaging promotion there for the shops out there. But Jeremy, before we let you go, anything else maybe that you haven't had a chance to talk about or that you want to add before we go?
Absolutely. In today's climate, manpower is always shifting. We hope that you keep us in mind so that we can assist you with anything down the road. If any of the AE members out there have any ideas on what can help make a shop's day-to-day life easier, reach out and let us know. You never know if it's something that we can achieve and help these shops become more profitable.
Well, Jeremy Ham, thank you so much for joining us here on AA Amplified. And of course, you can learn more about the company at your website, and that is aviationdesignandsupply.com. Again, that is aviationdesignandsupply.com. And you can also check out the upcoming September issue of Avionics News that'll be out in a few weeks. You'll be able to also see Jeremy in person in the exhibit hall if you are at one of the upcoming AEA regionals that will be taking place in Daytona Beach, Florida, as well as Oklahoma City for the Central Regional. And speaking of that, avionics professionals out there, you can also register for any of the 6 AEA regionals that are set for later this year. That first regional is going to take place coming up soon here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and that's going to be August 24th through the 25th. And then the first regional in the United States is going to be September 14th and 15th in Daytona Beach, Florida. Registration is available for both attendees and exhibitors for all 6 of those events, and you can check it out at aea.net/regionals. And also, for those of you who will be attending AirVenture Oshkosh, that's coming up here just next week, just a few days away, we hope you'll be able to stop by the AEA booth in Hangar B, and you can pick up your free copy of this year's AEA Pilot's Guide. We'll be at booth number 2035. Again, that'll be in Hangar B for those of you at AirVenture. And you can also pick up a free copy of the July issue of Avionics News, so stop by and see us if you get a chance. And as always, in-person and virtual live avionics training classes are available. A full slate of classes with some brand new dates were just announced, and those events take place in person in Lee Summit, Missouri. There are several courses available, but seating is limited. You can enroll today for both the in-person and virtual classes. You can do all of that at aea.net/training. And that is going to wrap it up for today. We hope you can join us again soon for another episode of AEA Amplified, sponsored by Genesis Aerosystems, a Moog company. To learn more about Genesis and its full range of upgrade solutions, visit genesis-aerosystems.com. Thanks again to Jeremy Ham of Aviation Design and Supply for being our guest today, and congratulations to the new company and the new AEA member. And until next time here on AEA Amplified, for our producer engineer Aaron Ward, this is your host Jeff Hill wishing you blue skies ahead. So long, everybody.